Hello and welcome to Phoenix TV. Great to have you here. Coming home to yourself, restoring balance after burnout. In this heartfelt episode, we'll explore what it truly means to come home, not to a place, but to yourself. And after living in the relentless pace of hustle culture and giving so much of yourself to others, burnout can leave you feeling disconnected, exhausted, and uncertain of who you are beyond the roles you play. Through honest reflection and gentle guidance, I'll unpack the emotional, physical, and spiritual toll of burnout and show how healing begins when you start listening inward again. I invite you to slow down, to breathe, and to rediscover the quiet strength within that's been waiting all along. You'll learn how to restore balance by reconnecting the body, mind, and soul, setting boundaries rooted in self-respect, and finding peace in simply being. This episode is a powerful reminder that coming home to yourself isn't about doing more. It's about remembering who you are and when you finally stop striving and start living in alignment. A soothing, soulful episode for anyone ready to rest, recalibrate, and reclaim their wholeness after burnout. Hi, I'm your host, Corinne Brown, Leadership Results Coach. Have you ever felt like you've lost yourself in the pace of life, giving, achieving, pushing through until there's nothing left to give? Today, you'll discover how to reconnect your mind, body, and soul after prolonged stress. Learn the art of rest, self-trust, and presence, not as a luxury, but as a necessity. Let's begin by redefining what self-care really means. In hustle culture, self-care gets reduced to quick fixes, a bubble bath, a weekend off, a glass of wine after a long day. But real self-care after trauma is sacred restoration. It's about creating safety in your body again and learning that rest isn't a reward, it's your right. Here's a question for you. What does your body and mind need to feel safe again? How can you break the cycle of guilt around rest? When you've been conditioned to equate busyness with worth or slowing down feels uncomfortable, even wrong. Start by acknowledging that guilt is part of unlearning, not a sign of laziness. Reframe those thoughts. Instead of I should be doing more, try I'm allowed to just be. Here's a self-care tip. Schedule unproductive time each week. Let joy, rest, or curiosity fill it naturally. Reconnect with what nourishes you and ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? Self-care is deeply personal. It might be movement, it could be journaling, nature, laughter, or solitude. The key is consistency, not perfection. Explore what activities bring you energy rather than drain you, and build boundaries that protect your peace. Because without boundaries, you'll slip back into old patterns of overgiving and overworking. Boundaries are an act of self-love. They tell the world my peace matters as much as my performance. Create a non-negotiables list. Your core boundaries for work, relationships, and personal time. And celebrate those small acts of care. Healing from toxic culture takes time. Each moment you choose rest, speak kindly to yourself or say no without apology. You're rewiring your story. Repeat this affirmation. I am no longer available for burnout disguised as success. Coming home to yourself means learning that your value was never tied to what you produce. It lives in who you are. When you honor your body, your boundaries, and your peace, you're no longer surviving, you're thriving on your own terms. Because self-belief and mindset aren't just nice to have in recovery. They're the foundation that determines whether you stay stuck in survival mode or rise into empowerment and peace. Here's how they intertwine and why they matter so deeply. Rebuilding self-belief is the core of healing. After enduring a toxic boss or environment, your confidence often takes the hardest hit. You've likely been gaslit, undermined, or made to question your abilities and worth. over time that internalizes as maybe I really am not good enough. That's why rebuilding self-belief is the first act of reclaiming your power. It's the voice that replaces fear with truth, and it reminds you, I'm not what they said I was. Their behavior was a reflection of them, not a measure of my value. You might question why it matters. Without self-belief, every new opportunity feels risky. With it, every challenge becomes proof of resilience. Your mindset shapes the recovery journey. Healing isn't just emotional, it's neurological. Toxic workplaces often trigger chronic stress responses that keep you nervous and your system in fight or flight. That creates patterns of overthinking, perfectionism, and self-doubt. By shifting your mindset from survival to self-trust, it teaches your brain safety again. It's choosing curiosity over fear, compassion over criticism, and growth over guilt. Here are my 3 key mindset shifts for recovery. From why did this happen to me to what did this teach me about my strength? From I have to prove myself again to I get to define success on my own terms. And from I'm broken to I'm rebuilding, and that's power. Self-belief creates emotional safety. When your belief in yourself returns, so does your ability to trust your judgment, helps you set boundaries and walk away from red flags early. You stop chasing validation from toxic people because you no longer need it. Your self-worth becomes self-sustained. Think of self-belief as an emotional armor. It doesn't make you hard, it makes you whole. The healed mindset transforms your experience into wisdom, and you begin to see that walking away wasn't an ending, it was a beginning. You stop surviving someone else's story so you could write your own. That's so powerful. That's where resilience lives, not in ignoring the pain, but in using it to grow into a more grounded, purposeful version of yourself. Self-belief is the quiet revolution that begins inside you. It's what helps you stand tall again after being diminished. And mindset, that's the soil where your new life grows. When you nurture both, not toxic culture can ever take root in your spirit again. After surviving toxic leadership, many of us lose more than a job. We lose our confidence, our spark, and the belief that we're capable of leading our own path again. But healing starts with one simple truth. You are not broken. You were conditioned to doubt yourself. And now it's time to rebuild from within. Nervous system regulation after prolonged stress is absolutely critical because chronic stress like that experienced under a toxic boss or in a high-pressure work environment keeps your body locked in a state of fight, flight, or freeze. This prolonged activation has wide-ranging effects. It affects your physical health. Chronic stress increases cortisol and adrenaline levels, which can disrupt sleep, raise blood pressure, weaken immunity, and increase fatigue and inflammation. Regulating the nervous system helps restore homeostasis, allowing the body to recover and repair. It affects your emotional, mental clarity. When your nervous system is dysregulated, the brain struggles, and it struggles to process emotions rationally. So you may experience anxiety or panic, emotional reactivity, or difficulty concentrating or making decisions. The nervous system regulation through practices like deep breathing, mindfulness, grounding exercises, or gentle movement helps calm the amygdala and strengthen the prefrontal cortex, improving emotional resistance and clarity. You can break trauma patterns. Prolonged stress can create habitual responses to threat even after the danger is gone. For example, hypervigilance, people-pleasing, or avoidance can persist. Regulation retrains the body to recognize safety, allowing the release of tension stored in muscles, reduced fight or flight impulses, and reconnection with intuition and self-trust. This is the foundation of self-belief and recovery. A regulated nervous system is the soil where confidence and self-belief grow. When your body feels safe, your mind can rebuild self-worth without fear, make empowered choices, step into leadership or new opportunities with clarity and courage. Healing after toxic stress isn't just about changing your circumstances. It's about retraining your nervous system to feel safe, strong, and capable again. So why does it matter so much? Well, prolonged exposure to toxic leadership keeps your nervous system in survival mode, that fight, flight, or freeze. And without regulation, stress responses linger even after leaving, affecting your sleep, your focus, your emotions, and your self-confidence. Regulation teaches your body safety, helping you rebuild self-trust and resilience. Here's my step-by-step guide. Step 1 is to ground yourself. Grounding yourself signals to your nervous system that you are safe here and now. Sit or stand with your feet firmly on the ground. Close your eyes and notice the pressure under your feet. Take 3 to 5 slow breaths, feeling the connection to the ground. Visualize roots extending from your feet into the earth. Step 2, engage your breath. Engaging your breath activates the parasympathetic nervous system to calm stress responses. So try this technique. Box breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, repeat for 5 cycles. Diaphragm breathing, placing one hand on your belly, inhale to expand your stomach, exhale fully. Focus on releasing tension. It's the best thing ever, and it really gives you a beautiful boost. Step 3 is a body scan and release. Release stored tension and trauma in your muscles. Slowly scan your body from head to toe. Notice areas of tightness or discomfort. As you exhale, consciously relax those areas. Gently stretch or roll shoulders and neck to ease muscular tension. And step 4, safe movement. Reconnect your body and nervous system through motion. Walking in nature, yoga or gentle stretching, dancing or shaking out limbs to discharge energy. And step 5, the mindful reorientation. Strengthen your prefrontal cortex to enhance decision-making and emotional regulation. Observe your environment. Name 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, and 3 you can hear. This practice draws attention away from anxious loops and back to present safety. Step 6, the affirmation and self-compassion. My favourite. Rebuild confidence and self-belief at the nervous system level. Speak affirmations out loud or write them in your journal. I am safe, I am capable, I am enough. My past does not define my future. Pair these affirmations with slow breathing to reinforce a calm, empowered state. Step 7, consistency is key. Daily practice, even 5 to 10 minutes, rewires your nervous system over time. Track your emotional and physical responses. Notice subtle improvements like better sleep, calmness, and clarity. And here's my bonus tip. Combine this guide with journaling prompts from your self-belief journal. After each practice, write down one insight or feeling that arose. It strengthens mind-body integration and accelerates recovery. Now for my closing reflection. Nervous system regulation is the foundation for healing from toxic work and stress. By practicing these steps regularly, you strengthen resilience, emotional balance, and self-trust. And that's empowering yourself to move forward with clarity, confidence, and self-belief. And a final affirmation, I am safe, calm, and in control of my mind and body. Visualize a sunrise or an open horizon or a calm nature scene because they symbolize new beginnings. Make them part of your daily routine. Coming home to yourself isn't about doing more. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you to be everything else. Remember to slow down, to reconnect, and to restore the balance between your mind, body, and soul. It's time to come back to yourself, where peace, strength, and clarity live. Thank you so much for your company today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm Corinne Brown. Catch you on the flip side.